Good morning, everyone. To our new students, a special and heartfelt welcome, and to our returning dragons, welcome home. The halls of our school feel whole again with your return to the hilltop. The name The Hilltop is a perfect metaphor for the journey we're about to begin. It's a journey that will require effort and discipline, but one that will reward you with new and powerful perspectives. The most important thing to remember is that this is not a journey you take alone. The Hilltop is a community of teachers, coaches, and friends who are here to support you. And I urge you to embrace these relationships, to lean on one another, and to offer your own support in return. This year, I ask you to lean into the moment. Ask the question that sparks your curiosity. Challenge yourself to try something new. Your time on the Hilltop is precious, so commit to making the most of every single day. We are all here today because we believe in the power of this community to challenge and support you. This is your year. This is our year. Let's make it count. I didn't write that. That was AI. It was generated by the second iteration of a prompt I used for ChatGPT, something I did intentionally to make a point. Shortcuts are almost always available, but they do not yield the best results. Real learning, real growth, real improvement requires effort. In the year ahead, our overarching goal, essentially, is to improve. A successful year means that we look back on today's version of ourselves in June and think, I am a better friend. I'm a more effective learner. I see the world through new perspectives. I improved aspects of my skill set, whether in the classroom, on the stage, or on the field. I grew in character. I know better how to lead and to follow. I'm a better community member. I know more about myself. Improving in each of these ways is difficult. None is linear, and there are no shortcuts. As I sat to write this talk, I was reminded of this simple truth when my family text chain blew up. My youngest brother, John, is a professional musician and plays in a few different bands, including a touring bluegrass band called Rapid Grass. He shared a clip with me and my parents and my other brother and our wives, showing his band performing in a festival this summer in France. He had an absolutely incredible solo, and as a proud older brother, I would be happy to show you the clip, just not in King Hall. As I watched and rewatched this clip and his solo, I was seeing almost 40 years of practice in action. There were no shortcuts that preceded that solo or led him to that stage. It's easy to understand that there are no shortcuts when it comes to playing the piano, throwing a good hanging curveball, or even translating Latin. However, I also believe that there are no shortcuts when it comes to building an authentic, inclusive, joyful, and healthy school community. This work occurs every moment of every day, interaction by interaction, decision by decision. At the opening meeting for SG employees last Monday, I introduced a phrase to highlight the type of culture and community that I think we want to create here on the Hilltop: One Dragon. To me, One Dragon represents the best of our school. It means that we show up, step up, help out, and we engage. It means that we are all in this together, and that only through our shared commitment to one another will we truly create a community that lives out our core values. Make no mistake, One Dragon is a high standard, and I am challenging us to be the best version of ourselves this year. Fortunately, though the phrase One Dragon may be new, I have repeatedly witnessed it in action across my 2+ years here, and you have too. On Tuesday night, our senior prefects, honor board members, and Inclusivity and Belonging Coalition leaders, and in fact all of you, heard about and lived out elements of One Dragon. Those on stage visibly demonstrated their care for one another, for each of you, and for our community by carefully planning and executing such a strong first meeting. The messages were rooted in themes of support and welcome, and our leaders modeled both. Just think about the senior prefects taking time to introduce themselves to the community, recognizing the importance of doing so for our newest students and adults. It was a perfect tie-in to Dr. Boger's welcome earlier that day, where she encouraged us all to greet one another by name. The prefects also showed us the fun and funny side of SG, emphasizing the joy that permeates our school. That is essential to One Dragon as well. I love that aspect of SG, in fact, and it aligns with one of my core beliefs about education and school. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. One Dragon was also apparent in the Honor Board's presentation about their role and aspirations for the community, all of which was anchored in our core values. IBC leaders modeled One Dragon through their invitation to participate in affirming, supportive spaces. And all of you, whether you were on the stage or not, showed up, engaged, and listened respectfully to your peers and to Mr. Jones before coming to King Hall for a community event. There were so many elements of One Dragon sprinkled into our first night, showing exactly what it means and what it looks like to live in community with one another. What a great night and what a great start to our year. And so as important as it is to live out One Dragon in big public moments, it may actually be the smaller private moments that matter the most. One Dragon applies to how we engage with one another on social media or talk about one another when we think nobody is listening. It's putting in the time on our academic work to really learn and master the material, not just complete a task or take a shortcut. One Dragon reminds us to be inclusive and welcoming, and it asks us to take responsibility for shared spaces on campus to ensure someone else is not left to clean up our mess. One Dragon demands that we put forth our best effort so that our groups, our teams, and our ensembles succeed. It encourages us to find ways to help others, even in the absence of public recognition. And not one of these has a shortcut. As you head into your first full day of the 25-26 school year, please keep in mind One Dragon and be willing to put in the work to make it come true. No shortcuts. It's a high standard, and it should be, because this is a community capable of great things, filled with individuals capable of great things. So let's put in the work together, starting today, that makes us proud of the June version of ourselves, both individually and as a community. Be all in for SG and one another, set and hold high expectations for the kind of school we want to be, and work together to keep us on a trajectory towards an outstanding year. Shortcuts don't produce great outcomes. Dragons do. One Dragon.